Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it is time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was Max Effort Deadlift Day. Just a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Reach down there and click it. Go on. All right, thank you. PRs. Now, I've had a few people in the comments already for the separate PR video like, man, don't you pull more on a 1-inch deficit? Yes, I do. This is still a 70-pound PR on this lift. Yes, you lose a significant amount of weight with every inch you add to a deficit. And a 2.5 is getting pretty big. Right, even that 2-inch I was doing for the rep work, keeping in mind, you could probably extrapolate it over, and this is real close, but also there's a slight bit of compression sometimes with the foam. This is a hard plate. And if I recall, it's 2.5. It could be a hair over, but I believe it's exactly 2.5. This was tough. It was grindy. My lower back was just completely shot after this. Now, was grip slightly an issue there? Yes. And some people say, well, you've gripped more with the other one. Just fine. Grip is harder on deficit work. You're pulling it from a longer distance. You're pulling it from a more difficult spot. You got to grip it even harder out of the bottom. So grip was definitely a factor, which we're continuing to do more and more grip specialization, which we're doing right here. But my low back was the limit. We know my lower body's coming along. Quads, hamstrings, all of that, I didn't feel anything. Like, they're just like, it's only 585. But we see what my hamstrings and stuff do, and then I do a lot of sled drags. It's the reason my quads are staying big, and they're probably growing. The scale was down today a little bit, by the way, so I put that weight update. Yes, I've been 223 for a little while. It dropped to 221. And it's surprising because I've actually increased my carbs a little further, more or less. I don't count exact macros. But I'm going pretty hard in the whole grains and stuff. But I couldn't do good mornings, by the way, after my lower back was so fatigued from that it's just like, nope. I went to warm up with the bar, and my low back is like, no, we're not doing this today. Learn to listen to your body. And I've hit some real good PRs on good mornings. You know, we're also approaching the end of a training cycle here. So, again, the low back was just like, nope. And it was a little bit fatigued still yesterday from the overhead pressing. Another reason I'm going to replace it with dips. Do more and more small movements for my shoulders. All right? I need more restoration on my back. Not more compression and work on it. I get so much of it with all the pulling. But these were tough. These were tough. But we're going to keep hammering the grip. Grip is going to be an ultra high priority. And here's what I decided to. I'm like, look, I can work in extra upper back work on my lower body days. I need the grip work and I need the upper back, right? They're both weak links for me. Do more of them. These aren't that hard to recover from. Now, I can tell you, though, getting sets of 12 on these wasn't happening. I did 5 by 10 after doing those double overhand deadlifts, and especially after a max pull. So a max pull, 3 sets of double overhand axle bar deadlifts. I might want to test my max on a mixed grip on that. Actually, to be fair, I might want to test it out. I might want to see where we're at. It could be interesting. Because I see some dudes out there pulling big numbers on it, but since my grip is a limiting factor, I don't think it would be that impressive right now. All right, I struggle with grip when I get up past 600 pounds on the deadlifts. I don't know that my axle bar mixed grip is going to be particularly impressive. But we're going to keep working the grip, right? I need the extra grip work. We need it. We know we need it, so let's just do it. We know we need the extra back work. Not that hard to work these in. I've got the time. All right, I've definitely got the time. I'll probably take on a bunch of new clients. I'll probably put feelers out there and see who all wants to come on. They want to put applications in. Coming up here in a couple weeks. I'm not taking any on this week, by the way. In a couple weeks, I'll open up some slots. So we'll see how that goes. But I definitely have the time. It's not a big deal. And I've learned to get the timing better on these workouts. Like, you guys will see me supersetting a little bit of stuff at the end here, just to work the other stuff in. Not really a problem. I can work these in. I can handle it from a recovery perspective because I limit my volume on the big movements. so that we can recover. And I'm getting in better shape due to the conditioning and the sled drags. So it helps a lot. It helps. It took me a little bit trying to kind of figure out exactly where to get my chain link sorted on these. They're lifted all the way up off the ground, but of course then still wanted it a little bit shorter because I feel like it's not really hitting till it gets to a certain point. So I did 10 with this, and then I trimmed a couple inches out by pulling one of those hooks out. And then I only got like 9 on the next two. But doing these with chains, these are definitely challenging. And again, it's unloading at the bottom, but that lead chain still weighs a little bit. It's not a lot. That lead chain's 4.5 pounds. Okay, 4.5 pound chain. So it's not that heavy. The others are 34.2 pounds added up, I believe. So what are we dealing with? Almost 39 pounds of chain. Pretty hard for sets of 10 because I'm on that harder setting now. I'm on one of the hardest settings. Like I can't even put my legs in there. Like if you guys notice, I have to step up and just climb into it because I don't really have much gap between the rollers and the pads. So I've gone to the fairly challenging setting there. But I want the extra at the top. That's why I change. People are like, why chains and not plates? I want that extra at the peak contraction. I just want to make sure that I'm working harder there because that could be neglected in my whole strength curve. And we can't afford for that to happen. All right, I need the whole hamstring. The whole hamstring to be strong. They don't seem to be limiting my deadlifts now. But then again, look what I'm doing on exercises like this. But we need to make sure that they don't become a limiting factor. But we only need to do 3 sets of these. Good insurance policy. That reverse hyper and the good mornings are really what build my low back. And so I'm going hard on the reverse hypers, and we're keeping them a lot stricter. But these, yeah, that one hit failure. I couldn't go all the way up against the chains. It's like, nope. My hamstrings are like, we're done. Hamstrings, hips. And this is again one of my big tools here. You know, if people were to really ask me what are your tools for building your lower body lifts, your squatting, and your deadlifting, it's not that complicated, guys. All right, reverse hypers, good mornings, glute ham raise. People say, well, I don't have access to that. Well, maybe you should consider finding a way to get access to it. If not, find ways to replicate what you can. Now, you can't replicate the reverse hyper, but you could do good mornings. You can do a lot of like high rep band pull throughs. You could do all sorts of other stuff. But your good mornings, glute ham raises. And I guess if you don't have glute ham raises, you'll have to do tons of hamstring curls and get variation on it, right? And protect your knees. Be careful with your knees when you do them. But in this case, I have the option of 3 different ways to adjust resistance. Bands, chains, plates. Then I'm supersetting here my reverse hypers. I went up 5 pounds, trying to keep them super strict so that I don't let the plate swing all the way forward, so I maintain some tension, keeping it super strict. And I need to get stronger at this 5x10. I started with, again, 30% of squat, rough squat max, and then I started rebuilding it from there with no swing. Right? Working on doing it with no swing. And then I'm supersetting with axle bar curls for 5x10. And after doing all that other grip work, this was tough. My forearms and biceps were really shot. They're like, oh my God, the first set was really hard. And there you guys go. You can see the loose skin, but I'm losing body fat. Okay, and that's one reason I'll show this. I mean, even though again a lot of people are like, they try to play like I want to totally hide the loose skin. I don't. It's there. But if I drop another 8 to 10 pounds of body fat, that loose skin's going to tighten up a lot. Because loose skin, what that is skin with fat stuck to it, right? And it can't tighten up till the layers of fat are removed. And it may never fully tighten up. Someone asked me, what's your strategy for that? Well, I don't know that I have a good one. There's a lot of theories out there. Maybe the collagen will help. Maybe me getting leaner will help. Weightlifting helps. Hydration helps. But, until I basically just get quite a bit leaner, it's probably not going to go away. And that's going to be a slow process. I'm slowly leaning out again. But I'm not going to do it fast because I have to make gains. And that's the thing that people need to understand. Because every time they're like, you failed a cut. I'm like, no, I didn't. I successfully did those cuts. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. We want to lose a certain amount of body fat at any given time. Which we're doing again now successfully. I'm definitely leaner. But I don't plan on getting shredded. I mean, I'm going to drop another 6 pounds of fat, which is almost a gallon jug, by the way. And you guys see where I store most of it. So some of that will come back off of that loose fat area. It'll tighten up a bit. And it'll do what it'll do. And then I'll assess from there. Recomp or cut further or lean bulk or whatever I have to do from that point. Figuring out what weight I need to be at, right? Kind of what weight classes I want to do later. But we have to always focus on performance first. We have to focus on performance first. But that's been the beauty of it. You know, we're still making progress. We're getting PRs here and there. Getting stronger in spite of a very, very slow fat and weight loss. Because I'm doing it right. That's why people are like, well, why are you doing higher carb? Well, that's why. And I literally had someone say, why don't you follow a balanced diet? I'm like, you ask any registered dietitian, and what I'm doing right now is balanced. Based on what you guys saw in that video the other day. You talk about my supplement stack. My diet is balanced. What are you talking about? Whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean protein, low-fat dairy is the basis of my diet. With a larger portion of my calories coming from carbohydrate, next protein, and my protein's still high, it's just not bodybuilder high, 300 gram high. And then fat is the lowest. And trying to get quality fat in, adding a little bit of extra, omega-3s in. Okay. That's considered to be a balanced diet. And I'm roughly at maintenance, maybe with a very, very small calorie deficit, slow weight loss, right? That's a balanced diet. What in the hell is anyone talking about? That is like what a dietitian would say, oh, somebody with really high cholesterol or diabetes, this is what they should do. Oh, you're a 40-year-old guy with a family history of heart disease, and you train, so you probably need to, a little bit more protein and stuff. Okay. This is what a registered dietitian would write for me. Brown rice, oats, watermelon, cantaloupe, broccoli, carrots, blueberries, chicken breast, Greek yogurt, occasionally a little bit of skim milk. That's a balanced diet. And it's working just fine, and it's very bro. But I'm happy to eat that way. I'm fine with it. But again, we're supersetting these together. Again, I'll do the biceps on these days because I have so much extra small movements on my upper body days I don't have room for them, I feel like. But I have room for them here, and then I don't have to worry about my tendons being fatigued or recovering, and my arms on days when I might have to deadlift. So again, it helps build the tendons in my arms to make me injury resistant on top of it. One of the reasons I'm using this bar. But it was a good workout. Happy with the PR. That's the heaviest I've pulled off of a deficit that big by a pretty big amount. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.